Good evening. My name is Lucy Fire. I am a salesman. I am trying to get you to sell something. Not me to you, but you to me. Let me see what you feel never mind. Anyway, hi, how are you doing? Happy Halloween, everyone. My name is Brian Trippett. I am the Front Porch Conservative, and welcome to Chattin on the Porch, the Halloween edition of this thing that we do here out on the internet. We are on Rumble, we are on Twitter, we are on YouTube, so please share the link around. Tell your friends we're here tonight. Yes, don't worry, we're going to let everybody get out of here in time for holiday festivities and trick-or-treaters in your neighborhood, if you have them. But in the meanwhile, we'll get together for a little bit, talk about a couple of news items, and see how everybody's doing. I saw the YouTube chat. Everybody's like, whoo, they're jumping in fast and furious. We'll get into some of that here momentarily. Again, my name is Brian Trippett. I am the Front Porch Conservative. I am known by some as the beau in the chapeau. I am sometimes called the common man with common sense. But I am above all else, even on this night, the spooky night of the season, I am your host. Again, we are on Rumble, we are on Twitter, and we are on that quaint little alternative social media platform known as YouTube. So please, if you have not done so yet, share the link around, hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment, do all those things that you do. But most importantly, if you're here tonight and you have never subscribed to my channel, please, my friend, give me a subscription on Rumble and on YouTube. We're working very hard to try to grow this little thing that we do. So yeah, looking forward to talking to you guys tonight. Happy Halloween to all of you. We'll see what goes on in your neighborhoods and in your necks of the wood, as the saying goes. Talk to you guys out there, see what kind of stuff you've seen so far this Halloween season. We've got a whole bunch of funny little things tonight for the show. Hopefully it's going to be a good one and you guys will enjoy it. And we're just going to wait for the band to wind it down over there. And boom. There you go, boys. All right, take 5. Oh, so good to have you guys here tonight. And, don't be starting up over there again. I told you, take 5. Scram. Scray. Get. Anyway, these guys, they want to constantly work it. They're trying to get me for a little extra, cheddar cheese. Oh, so good to have you guys here tonight. Let's see who all is in the house so far. Let's start with the Rumble side. As usual, WWG1's been very busy this evening. And yes, I will check all those. I haven't had a chance to look at them yet, but I will check all those out, my friends. So welcome into the show. TBA is here. Hello, Fedora Nation. The Wingnuts are well represented. Busy as a bee, working those memes. Yes, he is. Zippy is here. I am here too. You shall not escape, Mew. Friday the 13th, cha-cha-cha. Zippy, I'm sure you've been told this by many different people, but you are one very strange cat. Mercy. All right, let's see who's over on the YouTube side. Good evening, Gypsy. Mwah, hello, darling. Z Highness is in the house. Yes, it is the spooky season, and boo to you too. Seabass. What is your objections to Halloween, sir? Oh my goodness. This is where you pour water into the kid's bag of candy and tell them, not today, Satan, not today. Well, I'm sure that having done that maybe once or twice on Halloween, I'm sure you don't get that many trick-or-treaters. Gee, I wonder why. Let's see, who else is here in the house? Adam's here, representing from the Canadian side of things. Chris from the Morning Mayhem has stopped by. Glad to see you, sir, over on Rumble. Let's see, who else is in here? Wow. Man, you are most certainly anti-Halloween. Turn on the sprinklers. Woo. Man. All right, my friend. Okay, we definitely know how you feel about Halloween. Oh, my goodness. Guy, you mercy. Ooh, yeah. Oh, well, okay. Now that's fair. Happy All Hallows Eve, which before Halloween more or less took it over, was a Christian holiday this particular day of the year. No, I actually, oh no, that's for Seabass. Never mind. I will not make that argument public. Let's see. Yeah, Adam, I figure you're probably right about that, brother. Let's see. Who else? Rhonda is here this evening. Hello, Rhonda. Well, thank you. Thank you. I thought I'd break out something a little special this morning. One of my favorite live streams to kind of wake up to in the morning is the Steel Toe Morning Show, hosted by Aaron Imholt. And he did something really cool this morning. And actually, I could have done the exact same thing because I've got the exact costume hanging up in a closet. He dressed up like one of those old time prison inmates with the black and white striping, and he even had the hat to go with it. And funny thing, I've got the exact same costume, and I thought, nah, I'm not going to do that. And I thought, well, should I try and do something for Halloween? I thought, oh, wait a minute. I got something that'll work. So I sort of put this little ensemble together for you guys. Oh, this old thing, as it were. Let's see. Who else is here in the house tonight? Good evening, Miss Lana. Old Harry Devil Ray. That's one word for it. I've heard some people describe me as Pimp Daddy, but that's a whole other argument. No, not necessarily Dick Tracy. Not necessarily Dick Tracy. If it were Dick Tracy, it'd be yellow, but not a bad idea. Let's see. I think I've caught up with about everybody. I think so. Oh, thank you, dear. That's very gracious of you. Very gracious. Card Shark in Vegas. Well, I don't know about all that, but I appreciate the comment. Hello, Dave. Good to have you here in the house. Let's see. Have I caught up with everybody's comments, I think? Oh, tomorrow is All Saints Day. Okay. Next is All Souls Day. Okay. Yeah, but this is All Saints Eve, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Okay, I think I've caught up with everybody. All right. Good to have you guys here tonight. And not a whole lot going on. No, wait a minute. Now I got to read this one comment. This is funny. Chris from My Morning Mayhem says, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? I hadn't thought about that one either, but yeah, you're kind of right. I can see that one too. Very, that's cute. I like that. Oh, good. Well, don't worry. We're not going to be here too long this evening. Like I said, it's Halloween. I know you guys have trick-or-treaters in your neighborhoods, depending on what time zone you're in, and that sort of thing. And you may have, festivities that you want to get to, or maybe even you're hosting your own party. So I'm not intending to hold you guys here all that long this evening. We're going to be back Saturday morning at 10:30 a.m. And also, I may as well go ahead and announce this now, since I'm sort of on the subject of upcoming events. I think something big is going to be happening next week on Tuesday. Am I wrong about that? What am I missing something? Yeah, I think something pretty big is coming up. And with that in mind, I'll just go ahead and announce it right now. We're going to have election night coverage here on the Electronic Front Porch this coming Tuesday, starting at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. Ruben, I haven't talked to you yet, but if you're game, I'd love to have you co-host. But I know you're in varying transitions right now of location, so I don't want to force you into anything. But yeah, that's true. This outfit has different utility. It has different. All right, you're in, my man. All right. We'll get to work on getting some other folks for this. But yeah, this is the rough draft of the thumbnail for Tuesday night. Yeah, everybody's going to be doing some form of a live stream on election night. I've got some ideas in my head about how I want to do this. So, D-Day Cobra, he'll swamp me for viewership, but that's okay. This could be a really interesting night, and I knock on my old wooden head as I say that. But 6:00 this coming Tuesday night. Ruben and I will be here. I'm going to try and get my hands on a whole bunch of other people, and we'll see what happens. So there you go. Just want to make that announcement to you guys. Okay, let's get started in earnest. And we'll start, as always, as where I want to, with the Merry Memes section of the show. And there are just some memes or some pictures that when you come across them, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I am streaming on election day. I am. I hadn't necessarily reached out to any would-be guests, but Christian, you're welcome in if you want to. I mean, I know you've probably got people inviting you on different things. And, like I said, I've been amiss of not reaching out yet. And like I said, if you've got our invites already, go for it, dude. You're not going to offend me at all. So hang on a minute. Let me look at something real fast here. No wonder that doesn't look right. There we go. Okay. Now I churched myself up a little bit. But yeah, we're going to be live streaming on election day. Absolutely. Yeah, there's some pictures that, in this crazy election season that when you see them, you really have no words. You really have no words at all. And with that, I'm just going to leave this one right here. I don't know what this dude is doing in the voting booth, but Adam Krigler found this one, and shoot. I mean, I know that voting will make you do all kinds of things, but yeah, that one kind of yeah. Woo. That one, I don't know, man. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my is right. Yeah. Oh my, indeed. Woo. Look, I don't know if he's in there taking a selfie or not, Seabass. I mean, my goodness. Heavens to Murgatroyd. That is wrong in so many different ways. Chris from Morning Mayhem says Kamala's in there getting another vote. I didn't see anybody else in there. I thought it was just him by himself. Maybe she's... never mind. Yeah, that I came across that one. I went, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Goodness me. Well, it's said that animals have a very intuitive sense. I mean, not that animals are intelligent, but it's also said they have an extraordinarily intuitive sense of what to do in certain situations. And believe it or not, that intuitive sense even translates into campaign and election season. I mean, look, there are just some dogs that when they come across certain things, they most certainly know what they ought to do. And this dog, man, this dog is absolutely acting on instinct, but I give him a ton of credit. I really do. That is just, yeah. Yeah, let's hear it for free speech. Yeah, let's see the ACLU. Let's see the ACLU get up in this dog owner's grill about this. Zippy says, I am intelligence. Well, yeah, you believe it or not, you are. Yeah. Doggos for Trump. Yeah, I found that one. I was like, oh God, this is just too funny. So for all you dog lovers out there, there you go. There you go. Let's see. We can work that out this way. Yeah, there you go. There you go indeed. So yeah, never let it be said even the dogs and cats are not willing to give their opinion about things. Well, polls are flying around everywhere. News is popping up all over the place. Some people are glad, some people are sad, and apparently word is reaching us, we here on the Electronic Front Porch, that Kamala is going through a certain amount of depression at the prospect of what may be her election odds in about 4 or 5 days. Now, again, it's not over yet. I understand that. But being a very survivalist sort of individual, Kamala apparently is already making plans for post-campaign if it doesn't work out and she winds up losing. And much like her friend, Sean P. Diddy Combs, she's working the endorsement angle. Well, apparently she has made a deal with a home improvement company to market a particular brand of paint. Now, I have to tell you, the home improvement company, I think, is being very generous to the vice president, and they've even managed to put together a marketing campaign already. But I don't know how well this is going to be received, guys. It looks like she's got a deal with Home Depot for a new brand of paint. It's a semi-gloss professional, and it's even got her name on it, but I don't know if this last line is going to work. It's cheap, not too bright, spreads easily. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know about this, guys. I mean, look, I think Kamala could sell it, as she's very good at selling things. But I don't know if that pitch about being cheap, not bright, and spreads easily is going to help her out. I'm just saying. Yeah, there you go. But I give her credit. She is being resourceful. So there you go. Oh, goodness me. Well, as we talked about the other night, Trump and the garbage truck, that whole line that got started with Joe Biden making the statement that Trump supporters were garbage has taken on a life of its own, and I'll explain part of what I mean by that here in just a second. And as you all might suspect, the memes are flying around fast and furious. And it's with that in mind that some wag, via the use of AI, came up with this little gem, and I thought I'd share it with you guys. So if Trump gets back into office come January 2025, he has already predetermined which pieces of garbage he's going to take out of the White House first. And I don't know. This, yeah, I could see Trump taking these two pieces of garbage out real quick. Oh, Gypsy, you get no argument from me on this, my dear. He is the master troller. Absolutely. Oh, goodness. TBA says, are there body parts in those bags? No, I do not believe there are body parts in those bags. I don't believe that Mr. Trump is given to violence. And if he is, he's going to have someone else do it. No, but in all seriousness, I think that he is just reflecting how not only he, but a lot of other people feel. So there you go. We have a super chat from Trump supporter. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. That's very kind of you. Thank you very much. Trump 2024 US. Absolutely. And thank you for being here. Now, who else did I see that just popped in a minute ago? DB. DB, how you doing? Welcome in. What are today's election odds? Well, without pulling them up real fast, Nate Silver has Trump at his highest level, like 55-45. Polymarket's around the same. So that's where they're running at right now. So, but I saw you came in, wanted to say hello to you, and welcome to the Electronic Front Porch. And Trump supporter and DB, if neither of you are subscribers to my channel, would you be so kind as to give me a sub on Rumble and YouTube? It'd be greatly appreciated. And hit the bell for notifications while you're at it. I know you may not be able to be here all the time, but we'd love to have you here on a regular basis, because the more the merrier on this Electronic Front Porch. So yes, bless you both. And thank you again for that super chat. So yeah, Trump's ready to take out the trash. And I tell you what, I'm not kidding. To go back to Gypsy's comment that Trump is the master troller, I absolutely believe it. And, that whole stunt of him getting up in the cab of that garbage truck was just genius. And believe me, the meme makers are not wasting any time with this. Here's a blast from the past, modern day. So I tell you what, it just absolutely, Seabass. The trolling is absolutely fun. Absolutely indeed. Now, tell you what, the trolling has gotten so bad, and apparently it's gotten on Kamala's nerves. The Porch Hounds have been out, doing their work throughout the day, and they got their hands apparently on some video from inside the Harris Walls campaign headquarters. I don't know if it's campaign headquarters or somewhere where Kamala was at. This thing about the garbage is getting on Kamala's nerves, and it's really starting to show. This whole thing is about to blow up, and if Kamala's not careful, this thing will get out of hand real quick. If you don't believe me, check out this piece of video that the Porch Hounds got their hands on. Man, I always knew smoking could kill you, but I didn't have any idea it would do that to you. That's just ridiculous. My goodness, poor Kamala. It's just, oh man, every time that poor woman turns around. And apparently this the success that Trump has had with this garbage truck idea that he and his staff came up with, apparently it's really getting these guys inspired. As a matter of fact, Trump is trying to find new ways in the last few days of the campaign to reach out to different demographics. Matter of fact, the campaign staff is desperately praying right now that Joe Biden or somebody makes a gaffe that gives them the chance to do the following. Apparently, Trump was overheard saying he hopes somebody blurts out MAGA is trying to bulldoze the Democrats, because Trump's apparently always wanted to get up on top of a caterpillar. I mean, look at that. Now granted, I don't know if Trump's going to wear blue jeans, but this is kind of, I could see this. I could see this look, Granted, he's not wearing a shirt and tie. He's got kind of the white, but he had the white T-shirt on, so that would work. The blue jeans, I don't know, guys. But yeah, the aesthetic works. You got the MAGA hat. You got Trump suntanned up there, sitting on top of a bulldozer or a backhoe or something like that. I'm telling you, man, one good comment from somebody in the Harris campaign, and baby, don't you think the next thing's going to happen? I can just see it now. Trump's going to roll in to his venue, right up to the stage on a big old Caterpillar bulldozer, get off of that sucker, walk up on the stage, and is like, and as I was saying, I can just see it now. It would be glorious, absolutely glorious. Oh, goodness me. What else have we got in the way of the merry memes? Oh, by the way, did you guys hear about the incident last night at the White House with Joe Biden and the little toddler who was dressed up like a turkey or some kind of a duck or something like that? What was it? Was it a turkey? Was it I don't know, some kind of a bird costume? Mom was holding it in its arms. And Joe was like just being wholly inappropriate, totally inappropriate. Yeah, WWG wants to say, yeah, sucked on its foot. Well, that's one of them. That's one. But the other one I'm thinking about is literally, Joe was like trying to sink his teeth into the thigh of some kid while the mother was holding his arms. I didn't get a look at the mom's face, but I bet she was shocked. Well, anyway, this has led to a reminder that's been actually, and from what I understand, there's been some discussions in the White House since last night. Apparently, the White House etiquette officer has sat down with Biden trying to remind him of how certain things are to be done. After all, there already have been examples over the years of how presidents are supposed to eat chicken. Seriously. Now, look, Reagan, he's glad-handing. He's sitting there, the legendary NASCAR driver, Bobby Allison, drinking a Coca-Cola. He's eating some KFC. Trump, he's sitting there. He's got the plate. He's got the knife and fork. Reagan and Trump are trying to show you how to do it right. Now, Biden, on the other hand, man, he's not even waiting for the thing to get cooked. He's eating this chicken raw. My God, man. Chris from Morning Mayhem says they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, and now they're eating the kids. Man, truer words were never spoken. Seriously. WWG1 says Trump was so classy he's eating KFC with a knife and fork. I know! And you would think that Biden would learn something from that example, but no. He not even waiting for the thing to get into the bucket. He just like, chicken. My God. So you can kind of understand why the White House protocol officer is sitting down with the president this morning and be like, Mr. President, if you are going to eat chicken, there are certain rules that ought to be observed. Number one, it ought to actually be a chicken. And number two, you ought to make sure that it's on a plate and you're using a knife and fork. Just saying. Yeah, exactly, DB. Exactly. And by the way, I know you don't always get here for the live streams, but glad you're able to join us tonight. And I mean that in all sincerity. Truly, glad to see you here. So yeah, that's Trump. That's Trump and Biden with chicken. Now we've got some some Halloween related memes, and this holiday is kind of tough on parents for any number of different reasons. Really, well, I mean, think about it for a second. You're trying to find a costume that your kid likes to wear, and you want them to have fun, of course. And there's always the pressure of trying to be a responsible parent in that you want your kids to get as much candy as possible, but you're also trying to monitor how much they're eating in the way of sweets and all that stuff. And a lot of times, bless the heart of people who give out candy at Halloween. They're trying to help out the parents as best they can. Well, apparently, to help the kids understand how much candy they're allowed to have, some of them are taking matters into their own hands, and they're actually going so far as to spell it out for people in plain, understandable language. I mean, for example, look at this one. Only one per child. I think I think that's going to help. I truly do. I could be wrong, but I mean, it's in, very large lettering. It's underlined, just one, and and frankly, only one of those is really all you need. Cause, I mean, I could be wrong, folks, but I have a feeling a little bit of that will go a long way. And sometimes you just don't want it to go too far. So there you go. Just saying. Oh, what else have we got here? Oh, by the way, I am remiss in my thank yous. Gypsy, for that one with the chicken, thank you for that one. I appreciate it very, very much. Got another one from Gypsy, and Rhonda, we're trying to keep this family friendly, okay? Just you want to private message me that one? That's one thing. Just Chris says a little bit of that Kamala candy goes a long way, kind of like herpes. Oh my God! Oh, ooh, sir, ooh. And I thought Sean was something to try to wrangle with. My goodness, man, my goodness, how untoward of you, sir? How untoward. Oh, by the way, if you really want a really good laugh, go out to Keanu C. Thompson's Twitter page this evening. She's got a 1.5-minute video of her trying to get out from under her bed the costume that she's wearing tonight for Halloween, and her favorite fur child, the cat in their relationship. And I say they, her husband, Gino Bisconti, who had a cat, and this cat just loves Keanu, and it shows how much it loves Keanu. If you really want something that's rather funny to laugh at, go out to Keanu's Twitter page and just check that one out. Nah, Chris, don't worry. I'm just messing with you, man. I'm just messing with you. You're fine. I'm just absolutely messing with you. All right in the gutter. We're headed right for the gutter. Goodness. Oh, by family. Well, okay, dysfunctional family, but family nonetheless. So there you go. Oh, good. And out now. Getting back to business here. I have to thank Gypsy for this one as well. And this one's kind of cute. Like I said, we've got some Halloween related memes. And Gypsy sent me this one earlier today. I thought I'd share it with you guys. I think you'd get a kick out of it. The Grim Reaper apparently came to see Grandma, and I don't think this visit kind of turned out the way the Grim Reaper intended. Apparently, if you have the right size Snickers, you can get out of a lot of trouble, and Grandma understands that better than anybody else. So, yeah. Apparently, it'll be another day when the Reaper comes back to see Margaret. So, good on you, girl. Good on you. Oh, good. Goodness. Love the holiday memes. Love them. Oh, even candy companies, believe it or not, are getting political. I'll just leave this one right here. There you go, baby. There you go. Yep. Nothing is escaping politics right now. Absolutely nothing. All right. There are a few more memes, but I'm going to save them for the end of the stream. And these are the ones that WWG1 gave. I just didn't have a chance to pop them up there real quick. But WWG1, in all fairness to you, I'll put them up at the end of the show. All right. Let us get into our first topic of the evening. But before we do, since it's the top of the hour, let me do a real quick commercial. My name is Brian Tripp, and I am the Front Porch Conservative, and this is Chattin on the Porch, the Halloween edition. We are on Rumble, we are on Twitter, and we are on YouTube, spending a little time together talking about the news and also, recognizing the night for what it is as part of the culmination of the spooky season, the end of the month, Halloween, or All Saints' Eve, if you prefer to not recognize the pagan holiday. So we're hanging out together. We're talking to each other. If you're here or you happen on this live stream later and you're not a subscriber to my channel, please go ahead and give me a sub. I'd really appreciate it. I'm about a little under 40 away from 1,000 on YouTube, and I've crossed over the 250 mark on Rumbles, but I'd really love before the end of the year to get to 1,000 on YouTube. So if you got friends that you think that enjoy my content, please do me a favor, share the link with them and ask them to sub to my channel. I would genuinely appreciate it. Also, hit the thumbs up. Hit the bell for notifications, leave a comment, share the link, all that good stuff. Okay, let's get into something that has sort of been talked about that it was going to happen. Well, today it finally dropped. And that is J.D. Vance's appearance on Joe Rogan's show. And I have been eagerly anticipating this because, first of all, Trump and Rogan together were great. They really were. They were fantastic. And I knew they would be because Trump loves to talk. Now, you can say that's good or you can say that's bad, but he is very much a conversationalist. Joe Rogan is the same way. But there's something about Rogan, and I don't always get the chance to watch Joe Rogan. I'll freely admit it. But Joe Rogan is really probably one of the smartest podcasters out there. Now, I say smartest podcasters, and that's not really expressing what I truly mean. He's good at what he does. But when I say smartest, Joe Rogan is a very intelligent man. No one should ever make the mistake of thinking this guy's dumb. Okay? Just because he's sitting there smoking a cigar or other flammable substances and drinking coffee or whatever, no one should ever think Joe Rogan's dumb. Okay? And Rogan is a conversationalist. And I want to take you back to the other day. We played this clip last night. And I play this again to kind of point out why it is Rogan, I think, is such a successful podcaster. In that he has a philosophy, and I think people are gravitating to it because of what it means. And with that, I want to play just a little bit of a clip from something that we looked at last night. Listen to this.
In the room, like my whole goal with her and with him is just talk, just have a conversation like a human being. You find out things about people. You get a sense of them, at least a real sense. That was it. I don't give a fuck what we talk about. I really don't. Mm-hmm. I just want to talk to you. Who the fuck are you?
And that to me, okay. That's what makes Rogan so good. He'll freely, in that clip, he freely admits, I don't care what we talk about. Let's just talk. I want to find out something about you. Who are you? What are you all about? Okay. Now, obviously, he was referring to the attempts that he and his staff were making to try to get Kamala Harris to come on the Joe Rogan podcast and just have a conversation. That's all he wanted. Kamala, on the other hand, was being, and I will say this, I think was being very much a diva. Well, we need you to travel to where I am, and we need to limit it to 1 hour. And Rogan, to his credit, was like, homie, don't roll like that. No, we're not doing that. And he had a valid reason, which I didn't. We played this last night, but he mentions it earlier in the clip. He's like, I don't want the distraction. I just want to sit down in a room with you and have a conversation. I don't need all these other people around me. I don't need the distraction. Let's just you and I talk. Okay. Much like what I try to do here. Although you're not directly sitting across from me per se, that I could, physically see your form, you get to see mine. God help you. But you get the idea. Rogan just wants to have a conversation. He wants to talk. Okay. Tell me about you. What makes you tick? You seem interesting. Now let me see if I can figure out why. And the first one, Trump and Rogan, 3 hours. This one with JD Vance, just about the same length of time. I have listened to probably about a good 2 hours of it so far. I've still got about an hour of it to go. But man, you talk about two grown men sitting across a table from each other, sipping on coffee, and just shooting the breeze. That is how easy, and I've got some clips here. We'll play them here in a second. That's about how easy this conversation was between Rogan and JD Vance. And much like Trump, they went all over the place. The list of subjects is long and varied. And like I say, you get a real good sense from listening to this thing that both of these men are very smart, very accomplished, and absolutely, they're very secure in who they are. They really, you get that feeling. Now, just to give you an idea of how much reach this conversation between Rogan and JD Vance has been, let me enlarge this a little bit so you guys can see it. This thing has been out now for a little over 7 hours. Okay. It's already gotten, get ready, friends. It's already gotten, check this out, 3,385,019 views in 7 hours. Give me a second, because I gotta figure this up. I gotta figure this one up. Hang on. Let me run a calculator real fast. 85133 divided by 7 hours. Let me go full screen with this for a second. That's about 483,000 views per hour. Okay. It's amazing. And I really do think that the number of views, the people tuning in, I was shocked. I knew that JD Vance would be well received on Rogan by his viewership. I had no idea it was going to get that kind of reaction. And I think that again, take it for what it's worth. This is just my take on it. The number of views, the people willing to sit down for that length of time, they want, much like Rogan, they're like, look, tell us about you. Let's learn something about you. And let me tell you something. Vance was quite revealing with some of the information that he gave. I'm not going to sit here and tell you he bared his soul before Joe Rogan, but you get where I'm coming from. And I think that's part of what makes Rogan and alternative media, if I may use that term, I think that's what makes it so attractive to people. People are tired of the canned formulaic system that cable news and the major news networks that they've produced. Now, think about it for a second. Normally, in a 1 hour show, if it's on cable news, it's broken down into maybe 4 or 5 segments, okay, maybe more. You have a conservative person and a liberal person, and they have a topic, and they basically each have about 2 minutes to talk about this topic. You cannot get into any substantive discussions. You cannot get into any, real back and forth, because all of a sudden, about 5 minutes in, you're on to a commercial break. Rogan doesn't have to worry about that. 3 hours he sat down and talked to JD Vance. And literally, these guys went all over the place. Now, Rogan had questions he wanted answered, of course, and that's kind of obvious. And to the best of his ability, JD Vance gave him his answers. And you didn't get the feeling listening to this interview that Rogan was getting frustrated. He'd ask a question, JD Vance would answer it, and there was this just genuine back and forth. There are all kinds of reasons why the current journalistic structure, the network news structure as we have known it, is slowly fading away. It's not totally done yet. Still got lots of power, lots of influence, but it's not as influential or as powerful as it once was. Okay? And Rogan in this exchange for 3 hours gives you an idea why. TBA over on Rumble, Rogan is changing the shape of political exchange. Debates will be seen as old-fashioned and uninforming. I can't disagree with that. I think you're right. I really do. Yeah. Oh, Rhonda, I really recommend. If you're becoming a JD Vance fan, I really recommend that you go check this thing out. And small time, yeah, I saw. Yeah, Kamala on Club Shay Shay had about 1.4 million views. In comparison, also Trump Rogan is now, Trump Rogan's up to 42 million views between YouTube, Elon Musk posting it out on Twitter, Rogan putting it on his Twitter page, and Spotify. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. And to bring it back around to that first clip, Kamala could have had the same thing. She could have had the exact same thing and just wouldn't do it. And again, we could get into all the reasons why, but you kind of get my point. Okay. Now, just to give you a flavor of what this conversation was like, and believe me, these clips are absolutely gold. Because, we're talking about two very proud, accomplished men in Joe Rogan and JD Vance. And this first one gets onto the subject of family and raising kids. And I thought this was just cute as could be. Now, to set this up, JD Vance admitted something to Joe Rogan. He said, "Look, I was raised by my grandmother, who was a devout Christian, but she had a mouth like a sailor." And Vance said, if I've got any one bad habit, he's like, it's just my mouth. I will just let go with some stuff. Well, they got into the subject of swearing and children, and with that, folks, enjoy.
When my 14-year-old was 2, we were on a skiing trip, and we were about to leave. We packed up all our stuff, but her helmet, we forgot to put her helmet away. I go, "Oh, we forgot to put the helmet away." And she just looks down at the helmet and she goes, "Shit." And my wife is just like, "Oh my God." Right. It was so funny. There's just something adorable about a 2-year-old that doesn't know that you're not supposed to say shit. No, and just absolutely, have that cute little face.
Well, I mean, my 4-year-old, he was 3 at the time. We were going, because we live in Cincinnati, but then I'm a senator, so we spent a lot of time in Washington. And I was taking my 4-year-old solo. He was 3 at the time, on this trip, and we're on like a Delta flight. We're in the back. I'm kind of wondering because, I've got bedhead, and I'm thinking to myself, do any of these people know that I'm a senator? Because I look like shit right now, and I sort of get away with it. I don't think that anybody notices who I am, and we're sitting there, and my son drops one of those Biscoff cookies in between the seat, and he looks at me and he says, "Dad, well, fuck." And like 12 people instantly turn around and look at me. And it's like, "Oh, Senator Vance, your son has such colorful language." And I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm such a terrible father." And these people are all judging me.
Yeah. Like,
but it's, but you're right. It's so cute.
It's adorable.
It's so funny. But yeah, I got to do a little bit better about that because they're going to start judging me.
People need to relax. Little
do.
bad words
really
every now and then. It's good for you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That I can just see the look on JD Vance's face when his son let go with that. And all of a sudden you got a dozen people in the back of the airplane turn around and go, "Excuse me, what did that boy say?" And Vance like, "Yeah, that's my boy, all right." Now, granted, sorry, is it appropriate that this kid's using that kind of language? Of course not. JD Vance admits, yeah, I need to do a better job as a parent to kind of cut that stuff out. But it's the genuineness between these two men that comes through. Yeah, it's a cute story. It's a cute moment. It really is. I mean, and that's what you're getting in these conversations. And not just Rogan, by the way. Now, granted, Rogan's got this. He really does. He's a great conversationalist. Maybe I don't know. I doubt it'll ever happen. But I would just love to sit down and just shoot the shit with Rogan. I really would. Nah, like I say, that would be a wild ass dream, but let's see. I remember when I was little and said to my parents that I was ticked off and they were shocked, only heard it near death. So, yeah, I mean, it's a very relatable moment. It really is. TBA over on Rumble says, no, Harris could not have had the same thing because she can't hold a proper conversation. True. I can see your point about that. Now, not everything that they talked about, was in the realm of the silly. Vance got into a very interesting exchange with Rogan, giving his thoughts about the media and particularly the 2020 election. And I thought this was pretty good. This is worth a listen. So they're getting into the discussion of, why the media, why do they focus on the things that they do? Why do they not focus on certain things they should, etc. And with that, Vance gives these thoughts.
This is where I always get pissed about the media conversation around what happened in 2020. Is what they'll do is they'll sort of find the craziest conspiracy theory about what happened in 2020. They'll debunk it and say, "Oh, look, this shows that nothing bad happened in 2020." There's a nonpartisan organization that actually looked at what would have happened to Americans' votes if they had just known the truth about the fact that Joe Biden fundamentally had traded his political influence for money. Like, that's what it was. It's an old-fashioned American corruption story. I will give you access to powerful people in exchange for money, right? That was the true scandal of the Hunter Biden laptop. Again, it wasn't Hunter Biden doing cocaine with a stripper.
That was the fun part.
You can say that.
Now, see, could you imagine Wolf Blitzer or Jake Tapper or name me one of the Nimrods over at MSNBC? Could you imagine them cracking off a joke like that in the middle of an interview? Heck no. There's no way. Because we are professional journalists and we have certain standards of behavior that we must make sure that we maintain at all times. Rogan's just like, screw it. I think it's funny. I'm going to say it. And that is one of the reasons why people are coming to him or other podcasters, live streamers, social media commentators, that do these sort of interviews. There's just a genuineness about it. I think, who was it? I didn't hear him say it, but I have heard the comment attributed to him. Robert Meyer Burnett. Very, very famous, influential social media individual in a different sphere of content creation, usually in the area of the nerd space. Robert Meyer Burnett has made the statement, and I wholeheartedly concur with this. Authenticity is the currency of the realm. Translation: you're authentic, and people know you're authentic, and you're not trying to fake them out. They don't feel like you're fake. You will be richly, with hard work, you will be richly successful in what you do in social media. Why? Because you're being genuine with your audience. That's Rogan. Rogan does not try to put on, and I'm not trying to make him more than what he is, so please don't misunderstand me here. But Rogan doesn't try and put on airs. Okay? Come in, let's sit down, let's talk, let's have a conversation. That's Rogan. But anyway, back to the clip. So yeah. The stripper. Yeah, stripper, cocaine off a stripper. Oh, that's the fun part. And Vance's response is really cool.
I have an election to win. So that was the real scandal.
The corruption.
It was the corruption. And this nonpartisan and direct evidence of the corruption. And a nonpartisan organization said that knowledge, which was suppressed by the entire American media and big tech scene, that would have changed millions upon millions of votes. And we know that the number in 4 swing states was 88,000 votes that were the difference between Donald Trump and Joe Biden winning the 2020 election. So set to the side all of the other arguments about fraud and all the other rule changes that happened in the midst of COVID. We know that big tech colluded with our own sort of, I would say colluded. The one thing I'll say about Zuckerberg is, and I don't know him super well. I've never had a problem with him, but I do wonder if it's a convenient excuse. I don't doubt that the FBI said, hey, this is Russian disinformation, but these companies still have to take some agency over this too, right? So I think it was both the corruption of the FBI and the intelligence services, but also the big technology companies themselves. Both of them are at blame. And I think fundamentally, if they had not done what they did, Donald Trump would have won another term as president of the United States. You're never going to be able to convince me that if millions upon millions of swing voters knew the evidence of Joe Biden's corruption and it was staring them in the face, that we would not have been able to pull that one out.
By the way, he's on to something here, folks. If I remember the statistic, and I know the statistic he's referring to, but the percentage was, if it had been widely known about the Hunter Biden laptop story, according to estimates, it would have swung the vote to Donald Trump by about 6%. Now think about that for a minute. That doesn't sound like a whole lot, but when you take into account Vance's point that you're talking about 80 votes spread out over 4 or 5 states wound up giving Joe Biden the presidency. Imagine what 6% more in the vote would have done for Trump. Probably would have taken Georgia. Probably would have taken Arizona. Possibly would have got Wisconsin, etc. So it's a valid point. TBA over on Rumble says there was massive cheating in 2020, Brian. The laptop story was on the tip of the... Oh, absolutely. I don't disagree with that at all. I do not disagree with that in the slightest. Absolutely massive cheating. Got one more clip for you from this. And this one... Oh, yeah. Yeah. They get into a discussion of Kamala Harris's speaking style. And like I said, you can tell from the way these two guys are talking to each other, the further this conversation goes, there is real comfort level established. Okay. There really is. I mean, laying aside, trying to acquire information or glean things from this that you're looking for, this was just actually a pleasure to just watch these two guys talk to each other. It really was. And with that, here's JD Vance on Kamala Harris and Kamala's style of speech.
Where are you going? Yeah. You want to get the lights that they use with air traffic controller? Come this way. Yeah, come this way. Help her out. Do you think she wears an earpiece?
I wouldn't be surprised. I have no
the
idea.
earpiece one was amazing.
But man,
the
she just
Bluetooth thing, the earring.
it's
earrings.
astonishing. She talks. The only way I can describe it is she talks in circles.
Yeah.
Right. It's like
Tim Dillon says it's like she does gypsy curses because she speaks in gypsy curses.
That's very good. But it's we need to build an opportunity economy, because if Americans don't have opportunity, then they're not going to have the opportunity to be Americans. And it's like, what the hell?
The opportunity to generate wealth and generational wealth. Like, wait a minute. Do you know how few people generate generational wealth? That means you have so much money, you're going to give it to other generations.
Well, but there's actually, okay. I mean, I give a lot of speeches, so there's actually a skill to this. I think that she is the Michael Jordan of using as many words as possible to say as little as possible. There's actually a certain gift that she has, because you listen to her talk and you're 100, 200 words into it, you're 500 words into it, and you're like, what the hell did she just say? She didn't say anything.
Right.
Like I said, you can tell these two are getting real comfortable. I mean, it's actually kind of funny to watch, but the longer this thing goes, the more comfortable JD Vance gets with swearing in front of Joe Rogan. Now, you can say that's right, you can say that's wrong, but it's just, you can tell these two men are very comfortable talking to each other. And again, Kamala could have had, let me phrase this very carefully, lest TBA and I get into this. Kamala Harris was offered the same opportunity. Okay. Offered the same opportunity. I agree with TBA in that she'd never be able to do it. Might want to do it, can't do it. There's no way that Kamala Harris could go 3 hours with Joe Rogan. Out of the question. Would not happen. So, yeah, let me recommend it to you. Chris from My Morning Mayhem says, I get that way too. I don't swear much, but when I get into a good conversation with people that are swearing, it starts coming out. Yeah, I mean, it's a comfort level thing. I don't think Vance or Rogan, for that matter, is, trying to be deliberately vulgar or anything else. But this two guys sitting around talking to each other. TBA says, forget 3 hours. Harris couldn't do 3 minutes with Rogan. I would be very interested to see Rogan's reaction the first couple of times Kamala tried to do word salad with him. Because Rogan strikes me as the kind of person, and again, I don't know any more about him than what I read or what I see. It's not like I've ever, been on his show or whatever, etc. But Rogan strikes me as the kind of guy who, number one, is just very chill. Okay. That's just, my thought in the matter. But patience has its limits. And about the third or fourth time that she word saladed her way around not answering a question, I think Rogan would start getting antsy. Not necessarily angry, just like, would you please answer my question? It's like he said to me, be like the guy at the airport. All right, move the plane this way, move the plane that way. That's how I'd have to treat it. But we'll never know. We will never know. I'd say that's quite possible. Probably not in front of his grandmother. He might have done that when he went to college, but that's a whole other, we'll see. We will see. All right. It's bottom of the hour, so let's shift topics just a little bit. And before we do, real quick commercial on my part. My name is Brian Trippett. I'm the Front Porch Conservative, and you have found your way to the Halloween session of Chattin on the Porch. If you've never been here before, this is a little live stream that we do Monday through Thursday nights around 7:30 Eastern. And we get together, we talk about the news and culture and stuff that's going on. And we get together and everybody gets to give their thoughts, tell everybody what they think. They feel free to agree with each other, to disagree with each other. And, by and large, I don't have too many rules. So long as everybody, is respectful of each other, fine. I'm cool with that. We're on Rumble. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitter. If you would not mind, If you've never subscribed to my channel before, give me a sub on Rumble and YouTube. I genuinely appreciate it. And while you're at it, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment in chat. Mr. Algorithm likes it when you do that sort of thing. Tends to help spread the channel out there a little bit, much like manure. Anyway, hit the bell for notifications, leave comments, share it with your friends. Would greatly appreciate it. All right. Next topic. We started off tonight talking about revisiting Joe Biden's garbage comment. And I'm telling you what, that comment has just taken on a life of its own. If you don't believe me, Megyn Kelly took a picture today of her Halloween costume. And by the way, she is not alone in this. I am seeing this pop up everywhere. Chrissy Mayer did a version of this. I've seen people doing this standing in line to vote. And, so to not tease it any longer, this is Megyn Kelly's Halloween costume, a MAGA hat and a trash bag. And talk about making a statement with this. Look, Megyn Kelly is all kinds of classy. She's one of those really classy dames in the social media circle. And I got to give her credit. This is cool. This is really cool. And like I said, this has been something I've been seeing pop up everywhere. Okay. Because ever since Joe Biden popped off that comment, oh man, people have been doing some version of this for like the better part of now 2 days. And we'll probably do it all the way through the weekend if I had to guess. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Wouldn't surprise me if Trump shows up at some of his rallies and people are dressed like this. I'm serious. It really wouldn't surprise me. Now, I show you that picture to kind of set up what happened next. I would give a lot to be a fly on the wall and and what did you just do? I did not tell you could do that. Okay, just stop it. Stop. Sorry, folks. My computer all of a sudden just decided to do something wacky on me. Okay. I would give a lot to be a fly on the wall at the headquarters of the Harris Walls campaign. Because, man, you are probably got people, eating Tums, drinking Alka-Seltzer after Alka-Seltzer, guzzling down Pepto-Bismol. Because every time they turn around, somebody, either Kamala or Walls or Biden or Bill Clinton or some surrogate, is popping off some stupid comment, and then they got to go behind them and try and clean it up. Well, it's bad enough what Joe Biden did to him the other night with his garbage comment. Now, Mark Cuban has started his own controversy, and it is going all over social media. Now, I will say this. For the sake of fairness, I have not had a chance to look at TikTok or Instagram or other this, but I'll tell you this much. Twitter, this thing's getting around. Now, to set this up, Mark Cuban, the former owner of the Dallas Mavericks, a very rich and influential individual. He's supporting Kamala Harris, as y'all know. So he goes on The View, and he gets asked a question by Alyssa Farah Griffin as it relates to Nikki Haley and other female politicians who are supporting Kamala Harris. So that's the setup. So here's the clip, and I want you guys to listen to what he says because, man, like I said, Joe Biden was bad enough. This may take the cake.
Donald Trump is not even asking Nikki Haley for her help to try to reach her voters. What do you make of that? And do you think having people like Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger, and other Republicans with Kamala Harris is going to put her over the edge with these Nikki Haley supporters?
Yeah, yes, it'll put her over the edge with Nikki Haley supporters. Donald Trump, you never see him around strong, intelligent women, ever. It's just that simple. They're intimidating to him. He doesn't like to be challenged by them. And Nikki Haley will call him on his nonsense with reproductive rights.
Okay. All right. I think you guys begin to see the problem here. Let me back that up and let you guys hear that again. Okay. So he gets asked the question, why, Nikki Haley, yada, yada, yada. With that, listen to this answer again.
These Nikki Haley supporters.
Yeah, I mean, yes, it'll put her over the edge with Nikki Haley supporters. Donald Trump, you never see him around strong, intelligent women, ever. It's just that simple. They're intimidating to him. He doesn't like to be challenged by them. And Nick.
Donald Trump does not like to be around strong, intelligent women, y'all. Now, I'm not laughing at the political fallout that comment is making, okay? He's a big boy. He got out there. He made the statement. Now, this question, I guess, is for the ladies. What do you think about that statement that Donald Trump does not like to be around strong, intelligent women? He gets intimidated by them. Okay. I'm for my part, I'll tell you what my thoughts are on this matter. Strong, intelligent women, huh? Okay. Kellyanne Conway ran Donald Trump's successful presidential campaign in 2016. And Trump freely admits that in the last 45 days of that campaign, when she told him, when she said, Mr. Trump, we need to do this. And he's like, okay, you tell me what to do. We'll do it. Sarah Huckabee Sanders, his very first press secretary. If anybody thinks she's some kind of a wallflower that Trump could roll over, ain't no way. Okay. How many different women, for good or for bad, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying every woman in the Trump administration, turned out to be a really good, successful pick, which you could say the same thing of men, by the way. But how many different women served some form of a high-profile, up-close and personal, everyday interaction contact with Trump as part of that administration? I mean, you guys could throw out names just as easily as I could. For Mark Cuban to say something like that opened the door for all kinds of trouble. And like I said, it did not take long for that comment to get around the internet. And like I said, I haven't seen TikTok yet. I haven't seen Instagram, but people are ladies especially are going to Twitter and they are responding to Mr. Cuban. Now, I could put up all kinds of people. I mean, like I said, Kellyanne Conway put something up, Sage Steele, and these are surrogates of the campaign. And don't get me wrong, I think their statement responding to this is important, but I wanted to hear from other people. For example, I've got one here from Danica Patrick, okay, which Danica is recent, person who's jumped into the political fray. She's supporting Donald Trump. Here was her response to Mark Cuban.
So I saw that Mark Cuban went on The View, the gift that just keeps on giving, and said that Donald Trump does not like to have strong and intelligent women around him and that they intimidate him. First off, that's obviously wildly unintelligent. And second, as my own just anecdotal story, when I met him last week in Vegas at the rally for the first time, he said, "We need to get you a job." So am I not strong and intelligent?
Didn't seem to have too much trouble being able to be around her. And yeah, I mean, I saw the same thing from TBA over on Rumble. And Gypsy, you're absolutely right. Melania Trump is no weeping wallflower. That is a woman that's very smart, very intelligent, and Donald Trump loves being around her. Okay? I mean, don't get me wrong. Looks are one thing, but in that kind of situation, and it's with any relationship, looks are only going to get you so far. and there's got to be something that draws these two to each other. And Melania Trump is a very intelligent and very strong woman. Yeah, absolutely. And fair point. All right, fair point about Kellyanne Conway. She is a backstabber, but I get where you're coming from. But the only reason that I brought up her name is she was the first in political history, the first woman to ever run a successful presidential campaign all the way from candidacy to inauguration. So the only reason I brought it up, that and the fact she responded to this. And Danica Patrick wasn't the only one. I got another one here from a young lady named Sally Fuller, supporting Donald Trump, obviously. She had some comments to say about this whole thing. And I'll pop this up here.
Mark Cuban said there are no strong, intelligent women around President Trump. That is disgusting and misogynistic. The left can't even define what a woman is. My name is Sally Fuller, and I support President Trump.
And this has been going on all day long. Again, I mean, if I wanted to, I could take the rest of this show and just pop up example after example after example. This thing's going to take on a life of its own. I mean, honestly, people have no idea. I mean, let me put it this way. I think Mark Cuban realizes how badly he stepped in it with this. Okay, truly he did. Matter of fact, I got another one here from a young lady named Jordan Carr. She's on her Twitter page. She says, "I'm Catholic, wife, U.S. Air Force veteran, patriot, former Air Force intelligence officer, etc." And here's her post on Twitter. "Just some strong, intelligent women who voted for Trump. Notice my sister is the only woman at the table. P.S. I met Mark Cuban at a Air Force symposium in 2019. He was rude and overrated. Not much has changed." Like I said, Cuban stepped in it, and he knows it. As a matter of fact, he came out later this afternoon around 4 o'clock and posted the following on his Twitter page. "Let's clarify something. This is what I said during a conversation about why Nikki Haley was not active in the campaign. Quote, Donald Trump, you never see him around strong, intelligent women, ever. It's just that simple. They're intimidating to him. He doesn't like to be challenged by them. And, Nikki will call him on his nonsense with reproductive rights and how he sees and treats and talks about women. I mean, he just can't have her around. It wouldn't work. I am happy to clarify, one, I know many strong, intelligent women voting for Trump, including in my extended family. I'm certainly not saying female voters are not smart, strong, or intelligent. Number two, I know he has worked with strong, intelligent women like Elaine Chao, Kellyanne, Ivanka, many others. I stand by my opinion. He does not like being challenged publicly." No, Mark, that's not what you said. You said you've never seen him around strong, intelligent women. Now, people who are going to defend Mark Cuban are going to come back and say, well, no, you're just parsing his words. Hey, I know what he was trying to say. He's trying to say, well, in the context of, he doesn't like to be called out public. No, it's not what you said. It's not what you said. Buddy, you made your statement. Now you're stuck with it. And one more little thought on this, and this comes from Mike Cernovich, influencer, film producer, and just all-around thought provocateur. And I agree with this statement. Harris's campaign, their will is breaking. Cuban's comments are the latest proof of that. There's no message discipline. The line didn't hold. They are all on their own. Melee combatants swinging wildly, making mistakes, rattled, keep on pressing. Now, allegedly, but I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, so that's the latest, what do you want to call it? Step in it moment for the Harris campaign. I mean, like I said, if you are the campaign staff for Kamala Harris right now, you have got to be sitting there just like guzzling down Pepto-Bismol and eating Tums by the barrel full, etc. So, yeah, it's not a good time in the Harris-Biden campaign. All right. Tell you what, folks, we're almost ready to bring this train to the station. See, I told you I wasn't going to hold you here very long tonight. Oh, thank you for sending that one in again. Hang on one second, folks. So we're going to end this tonight with WWG1's memes that he sent over. And these, I'm lining these up right now, and they're really cute. They really are. Really, really cute. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. Some of these are related to stuff we've talked about tonight. Some of them aren't. But yeah, these are just really cute. Tell you what, we'll start with this first one. And WWG1, thank you for sending these in, as always, every time, you and Gypsy and everybody else. My next show, this Saturday morning, 10:30 a.m. Eastern. This Saturday morning, 10:30 a.m. Eastern, Front Porch Brunch. We'll be hanging out together again. So thank you for asking, DB. I appreciate it. No, he did not send another Spider Dog clip. You'll have to wait till next year on that one, Adam. Or get in contact with him directly. That's all I can tell you. Anywho, got some funnies for you to end the night. And, man, I tell you, like I said, this garbage can thing is just, it's taking on a life of its own, man. It really is. It's just amazing what is going on here. So with that, enjoy this one. What happens when a pro-Trumper assaults a little boy? News at 11. Did you see that? That Donald Trump supporter smacked that kid in the head. Oh, he did it again. Poor kid. Oh, my word. Just terrible, terrible, I say. Oh, my. That kid's going to get a concussion from that Donald Trump supporter. How terrible. How untoward. Oh, my goodness. That's right, kid. You put him on the ground. Oh, my gosh. That's going to leave a mark. Oh, my word. I tell you what. Just a very, very violent campaign. Very violent. Now, as far as costumes are concerned for this evening in particular, some people are very, very creative, including their pets. I want to be a cat boy. I wonder how much time it took to get that bandana around that cat's neck. That would be interesting to find out. I'd love to talk to the owner of that cat and find out for sure. Let's see. What else do we have here? Here's a holiday decoration idea. Maybe not now that Halloween's almost over, but well, yeah, I suppose you could still use this next year. You know, I mean, God forbid anything that happens to the old fellow, but you could use this one next year. You know, hopefully Mr. Biden is still with us. So, yeah, here's an idea for Halloween decorations for next year. Seemed like a pretty good one. All right, and finally, you should always be very careful if you're planning to poach a package off of somebody's front stoop, which I hope none of you would ever resort to that. Okay. But if you do, just be advised, you could sometimes get some comments in your way that you never, ever intended. And with that, enjoy.
That's why you fat. Look at you, greedy. No, you can have it. You can have it. You got it, brother. You thought it was some snacks in there? Look at you. You can go ahead and take it. It's a big box for a big back. Come on and get it. I know you need it.
I think I was confused, bro.
Oh, I think you hungry. And people act abnormal when they hungry. You've seen the Snickers commercial. Come on and get you a little box. Don't try to run either. I don't want you to have an asthma attack on my porch. Get the box. I know times is hard.
I don't live too far.
I know you ain't walking far. I know you ain't walking far. You ain't got to tell me. Go ahead and get it. Big back, big back. You too big to be a thief. Come on. Come on and get it. At this point, I just want you to get the steps in. You never know. It could be some workout equipment in there. Look at it. Okay. All right.
Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is what I call, yeah, you hungry? You hungry? That's great. That is absolutely great. All right, we're going to bring this train into the station. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me for a little while on Halloween. And like I said, I know you guys have got festivities, maybe even handing out candy to kids, which is cool. Glad for you. Thanks for spending a little bit of time tonight, and we'll be back this Saturday morning, 10:30 a.m. for Front Porch Brunch. Thank you for everything you guys do. I want you guys to have a wonderful Halloween, the rest of it as much as we've got left. So God bless you guys. Have a great night. We will see you this Saturday morning, 10:30 a.m. And hit the like button on the way out. Yes, absolutely, TBA. Very much appreciated. Love you guys very much. Thank you for being the best audience on the internet. And as we depart, remember the words of the legendary Warren Zevon. Werewolves in London. Have a great night, guys.